Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, May 20, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having tomorrow night, Wednesday, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern, a time for change call. And we're going to talk about the direction of this planet and this civilization. Total liberation is not very far away. It is just hidden behind you also. Every one of us get to a point, sooner or later in this life alone, we begin to, after all the programming and influencing, and we begin to question many things. A lot of us say, this doesn't make any sense. I can figure this out. What's the purpose of this or that? And a lot of us are asking ourselves deeper questions. And it's usually addressing ourselves. It's where do we fit in? What's our direction? Why are we here? And why are we going through this? And what's the purpose of that? And you say to yourself, well, I understand, I comprehend that it is to experience, and whenever we reach this moment, let's put it that way, in this life, this is the moment of our soul's deepest inquiry, and it needs to be honored with the utmost patience and persistence. This is the golden carrot which leads us to dig further inside. So it's a motivator, so that we uncover the roots or why we are struggling and see how to alleviate any pain we are incurring. It is from returning to this self-inquiry that we discover the most sacred answers to life, which truly satisfy every crack and crevice of our being. We walk around these bodies in the physical material world, and all these, what's within the body is that all of us, on one hand, are highly enlightened beings, okay? But we don't know it. We don't have a clue. We're also omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting, abundant beings that never die, and we don't know that. Not a clue. Now, one might ask, well, what's the guess of the percentage of the population of the planet that at least has pointed itself in deeply delving within to discover these things? That's a tough one because everybody is at a different. Most of us are at different levels of comprehension. So you just guess it might be a few percent, maybe. And then there's the variance of those after that are kind of starting. See, because with any civilization, evolution, spiritual evolution is paramount, not physical evolution, not material physical evolution, but spiritual. See, we've ran the gambit on this planet. This civilization has been around for millions, if not billions of years. And what I mean by that is that we've incarnated into different physical forms. Okay? And we've had thousands of lifetimes. So it's like, well, what the heck does that mean? Well, our ancestors who were, see, we were originally meant to be our blueprint, let's put it that way. We were very tall. We were 55 feet tall. Not us now, I'm sure you comprehend that, but at one time we were. And a lot of us incarnated into those bodies, had those lives. So if you go and you review through the ages the different civilizations, where do you think we were, the gods that we are, incarnating into those physical forms and those lives? Now, see, since we have amnesia, we don't know. We don't have a clue. And all of it is about experience. It's us experiencing physical material life. It's us discovering that we're the ones that create that life. We create it. Now, the fascinating thing is that we create it, every one of us, differently. Not each of our lives, none of them are exact. Are exact. They're different. It might be slightly different, but they're different. A few different experiences that others don't have. But see, because you could have the same experience. You could create the experience, right? And then bring it into your reality. But your perspective is a little bit different than Alice's perspective over here, who has a very similar experience, but because of her perception and viewpoint, it's different than yours. So everybody, even if you had a group of us experiencing at the same time something, occurrence, a happening, we would all view it differently. That's how diverse this civilization is. It's off the charts. It isn't even measurable because it's so vast. So you figure that, and because we have amnesia, we cannot recollect what? What can't we recollect? The different lives that we have had. We can't come up with anything. Yeah, there are some things that come through. We don't really correlate that. But we're highly enlightened beings. We're omnipotently powerful beings in these bodies. While we're in these bodies, we're master creators, manifestors, by far, unmatched. And the irony of it is that we do not know that. Now, some of us might embrace it, kind of on the surface, play around with it a little bit. But deep within us, we are not aware of who and what we are. So what do? We embrace the material physical world each lifetime. Some of it we carry with us to other lifetimes. We aren't aware of that either. But see, this evolution, you can really tell how impactful it is with this civilization. Some people will say, well, enlightenment is not, it's a fairy tale. It's all hogwash. It's all made up. Enlightenment's all made up. And it is not some fairy tale experience or something just meant for a few special, sacred people. It's the highest peak of our consciousness and is available to all beings in every moment, all the time. It is a genuinely grounded spiritual experience which transforms all the sour lemons in our lives into the most wonderful sweet lemonade. The enlightened state is what lifts the veil, blinding us from the truth, allowing us to see just how magnificent we all truly are. Because we are. But as long as we allow this life that we're in currently now to master us, then we're on the proverbial endless trek of reincarnating, having a life, leaving the body, reincarnating, having a life, leaving the body. I think everybody gets that, the gist of it. We are meant to explore, advance, progress, expand out, not only in this galaxy, but beyond. We were not meant to be locked down on the surface of this planet, which we have been for a very long time. It's like all these different conjurings, depictions, stories of things about this planet, why we can't do this and why we can't do that, is apropos because it keeps us in that void. See, it answers questions even though it's false. It keeps us in that void, which means that we stay on the planet and we continually reincarnate for hundreds of thousands and millions and billions of years without any recollection of our lives, our life experiences. And you'll hear me concentrate on this at times because it's very important that we realize that because we're talking about this, because it's brought up more than once, is a good thing because it means we're halfway there. Talking about it, meditating about it, reviewing. Because these are the questions that strap us as a civilization for generations. We seek things we've been programmed about in certain ways, and unfortunately we've been programmed with falsities, not truthfulness. And it isn't anybody's fault because this has been going on for a very long time. The information is passed down, passed down, passed down, passed down. And that's what we have to go on. Now, where's the primer in that? Well, you start communicating with yourself, and then you communicate with others that are communicating with themselves. Each one is within, okay? Each one is aware of what their ego is, their ego mind. They're also aware of the fact that they're compelled to go within, to discover really, once and for all, who and what they are. You could read volumes of books and, historic documents and all kinds of stuff. But it's still not going to give you the answers you're looking for. This universe it's this grand weave of perpetual spiritual synchronicity and our karmic destiny. All of us are this timeless perfection of wild, conscious creativity and action. Always co-creating a synchro-destined, harmonious play between mind, matter, and spirit. Now, how could this omniscient perfection ever make a mistake or even entertain the idea of what a mistake might be like? Now, in the event that any of us chose to take a step back and look at our world from the highest, most heavenly space, it appears that we are this great symphony of souls all working together to reach higher states of consciousness. And of course, we are also these separate beings with unique minds, hearts, and individual lives. Yet, this separating aspect is not the biggest truth. The greatest truth is that we are intimately connected with everything and everyone else in this universe. Now, when any of us surrender to this larger truth, weaving it throughout our day, the most tantalizing and enlightening moments just magically show up. We can feel the presence of something much larger than ourselves is guiding us to a more joyous state of being. We naturally become more sensually available to all the pleasure and joy we are here to experience in this deliciously exquisite existence. Now, by being radically open, raw, naked, and deeply willing to receive whatever the divine existence is offering us in each moment, entertainment must pour into us. It simply has no other choice. And when we completely empty out our cup, this universe has to fill it up. The result is a truly intimate connection with this divine intelligence and an abundance of the richest manifesting energy radiating from our core. And by living each moment from this raw, open, vulnerable space, we can become unstoppable in everything and anything that we do. And whenever we are deeply surrendered to this life, life surrenders to us. We immediately feel this humble yet empowering connection with everything and everyone. There are no more feelings of lack, unworthiness, or separation with who we are. There is also no need to become someone powerful, superior, and special so that we cover up that unconscious, insecure self who feels inferior. We can allow all our darker parts to be seen, felt, and heard. Experience life in all possible ways. Good, bad, bittersweet, dark, light, summer, winter. Experience all the dualities. Do not be afraid of experience, because the more experience you have, the more mature you become also. And we're not talking about book. We're talking about life experience. Allow the totality of your darkness and divinity to be revealed. And as we all start feeling into exposing, honoring, and welcoming all our dark and bright parts, we spend less energy controlling, holding back, hiding, trying to contain our wild brilliance. And within this relaxation, our full divine nature can spring forth, shower upon this world. We are free to be spontaneous, creative, fully self-confident. We can access our core life energy. Naturally, we find ourselves resting and abiding in our spiritual essence, which does not judge or condemn anything or anyone, as it is the source of love itself. And the most spiritually expansive, loving, healing, and magical experiences in life instantly start manifesting when we take the risk to look within and be honest, vulnerable, and real with who we think we are. And when we remove all our masks with everyone in our lives, drop all our perceived burdens, shed our protective layers, become totally transparent with everyone in this world, then the supreme enlightened reality sneaks into us. And this enlightened perception of life takes over our mind, creating an energetic merging with our ego and spiritual essence. And we feel this awesome, wholesome love for ourselves and others everywhere we go. We have the opportunity and the ability to be fearless in unraveling and exposing our most enlightened and horrific selves. We have the opportunity to choose and be able to relax and truly be okay with every good and bad idea that passes through our mind and emotions. We have the opportunity to choose not to get stuck on anything and become like this slick surface where nothing sticks to it, which all thoughts slide off of. We cannot take anything that is revealed personally, as every idea and concept we have about who we are was handed down to us, programmed in our subconscious mind, from our parents, our siblings, teachers, society, and the many generations who were before them. Resting in silence and stillness of mind, ironically, the cause of our enlightenment and what's blocking us from experiencing it is the same thing. We all know it's the mind. And when we transcend the mind, dropping any attachment we have to it, the brilliant light of our being can then shine through. And this brilliance is all we can see in every direction. And of course, the mind is essential to adventure into this great journey, into spiritual liberation. Yet we first need to understand what the mind actually is, so that one day we can become free from it. That's the purpose of it, so we can become free from it. Now, when you begin to watch your mind, you'll notice it is always doing what? Striving, judging, analyzing, needing to achieve something. You may have looked in the head, which is always focusing on thoughts, concepts, right and wrong opinions, judgments, and belief systems. This, the secret to remaining unenlightened. As long as you're always up in the head thinking with your brain running the show and the rest of your heart, sex center, physical, sensual body is being ignored. Know that enlightenment is full of body experience. This means the whole body is engaged in experiencing life, and not just the over-analytical mind. To step back from the mind requires total awareness. Every enlightened experience begins by first taking one step back from the mind and resting into a state of pure awareness. This is why an enlightenment seeker meditates. We're all enlightenment seekers. We meditate every day. Not to control the mind, yet to transcend all thinking completely, calling forth the experience of total silence, stillness, and pure awareness inside. Stillness creates an automatic letting go of the constant control, domination, neediness of the mind. It is something that takes 100% of our devotion and dedication. And as the mind is deeply addicted to the outer search, it will spend lifetimes searching for fulfillment in the outer world, believing this is the purpose of life. It will continuously do everything it can to fill your time on earth with new information, people, and special goodies out there, never questioning reality or what your heart or soul is really yearning for inside. And the secret to this enlightened stillness of mind is learning how to be 100% surrendered to life. This comes from giving more energy towards that natural trusting feeling in something bigger than you is running the entire show. This supreme God source, cosmic intelligence, is very, very, very real and always connected with our core essence. Again, we are a drop of water in this cosmic ocean. We are not separate from this vast sea of bliss until we get caught in the mind and believe we are. When we rest in total stillness of mind, we instantly dissolve back into the sea of bliss and find freedom within it all. Lastly, be aware that the mind is very tricky and slippery. So use caution whenever you approach it. Do not trust the mind or buy into its stories, as it will confidently lead you down one sure path and then switch the next day into following a completely different direction. Trust the heart instead of the mind. The heart lives in love and abides in a connection of oneness with this universe. This is the easiest doorway to enter the experience of enlightenment. And what happens when we discover that we are enlightened beings? We've moved into the heart-mind, and for the most part, that's where we reside. We also know the entire ego mind, and therefore reserve ourselves from entertaining it. And we know the one constant is that it looks for peace outside of itself. Which means what? Which means it will never find peace. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. When I look inside and see that I am nothing, that is wisdom. When I look outside and see that I am everything, that is love. And between these two, my life turns. Nisargadatta Maharaj. And paramount for all of us, trust 100% in yourself, this universe, and in this sacred journey through life. Always being trusting, open, and available to yourself. This universe and your life is no small matter. Accessing our full enlightened nature is so enormous that we must expand beyond our old comfort zones, trust in something beyond the mind, beyond everything we know. And the great secret to living in a continuous state of trust is learning how to abide in the feminine energy. This is the highly fertile experience of openness, deep relaxation, pure receptivity. When this energy enters our body, it means we have stopped engaging in society's over-controlling, dominating, masculine influence and started welcoming that feminine magnetic force that is inherent at the core of every atom in creation. And you'll notice, some of us will notice, that the sacred feminine energy is wild, liberating, and is very magnetic and is inside everything around us. It is very real, organic, and it shows up naturally when we stop pursuing this life that never fully satisfied us. As we turn inward to find the divine feminine source, we merge with that ancient way of being, which nurtures our very soul. We find this natural spiritual energy inside our being, and relaxing into this energy allows us to feel at one with this entire universe wherever we go. And the enlightened state is absolute trust in what is here now. And it's never half-ass about it. This 100% level of trust creates an instant feeling of freedom from doubt, resistance, and fear. The mind stops controlling everything, and it gives up striving to attain a different experience than the one given to you now. We live from a state of 100% trust. We start allowing this magical universe to unfold however it will. When and if you are only willing to release 99% control over your life, then ask yourself, what is this 1% still holding on to? Why would clinging to thoughts of fear, doubt, and needing more control be more important than your spiritual freedom? Sure, we could allow for a small percentage of our ego's free will to be there. Yet it's good to explore how this non-trusting ego trip is just some entertaining sideshow and not the real deal. To abide 100% trust all day long, every day, requires a full let go of your beliefs, addictions, demands on yourself, others, and this world. It means that you stop avoiding your unlimited spiritual nature. Total trust is about you recognizing the divine soul you are and having the deepest devotion to your spiritual self. Secrets is about embracing all the joy and pain you find inside. And life is meant to be a continuous trusting process. To master it, this great sacred feminine energy needs to be at our center so we can feel nourished and guided in every moment of our lives. When we can sit back and allow the great cosmic wheel of life to take over, we'll find out that it's steering our mind to see, feel, and know that this is all divine perfection. Joining in meditation, I'll return to close this out.
Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your natural breath rising and falling. Do the opposite of what didn't work before and believe in the power of silence. The more you can relax and just be, the more abundance of life's rich experiences you will receive. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, May 21, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest the deepest deepest, purest the purest purest eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on out there, or inside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.